Alright, this is the recording for assignment 11 for pen testing. I'm going to show you the assignment here real quick. Okay, just finished writing it. It says post electronic copy in the Dropbox, blah blah blah. Now for this assignment you'll be using Snort. Okay, like I say here, using Snort inside your security onion install and analyzing the capture file provided, answer the following questions giving me the Snort rule and how many alerts were given for that rule. Okay, the default setting for the checksum detection, use it. I mean, don't change it unless I tell you to. Like a couple of them down here specifically say, ignore bad checksums. For the top ones up here, do not do anything with the bad checksums. Just, don't even worry about that. Okay, capture file is provided. It's called assignment11.pcap. And then here's the rules. I want to see, like for instance, number 1. All TCP traffic with a destination of 10.60.203.2. All DNS outbound traffic. Okay, that would be, traffic leaving. All TCP web traffic. I think it's actually outbound on that one. Let me pause and find out. Alright, through the magic of pausing, it's now fixed. It says all TCP traffic with a source of port 80. Okay, then all traffic coming from that IP, so on and so forth. There's 3 of those. Then I want all traffic with the destination of 255.255.255.255. Then all IP traffic with a destination of that IP address, this time ignoring bad checksums. The same with the next one, just a different IP. Then I want to see all TCP traffic from that specific IP address. Okay, what I would like to see from you, I want to see it like this. The number above, in other words, number 1. Okay? Here's the rule, and here's how many alerts there were. This is not the answer to number 1. This is just an example. So you tell me the number, the rules, and the alerts. Okay? Alright. Now I'm going to demo this for you real quick. Alright. First thing we're going to do here is run Wireshark. That's not going to work, but I'm going to show you why. If I go to run Wireshark, if I go up here to capture interfaces, it's going to be like, whoa, I can't do that. There's no interfaces. The reason is I'm logged in as Ken and not root. To fix that, I'm going to go in here and I'm going to run terminal. And I'm going to write sudo Wireshark. Remember sudo? Hopefully you all know what sudo is by now. And then, and put in my password. Duh. It says, oh, you sure you want to do this? Okay. Now I can run Wireshark. I'm just going to capture something. Now, I'm already giving you guys a file. It's actually right there on the desktop here. But I'm going to show you how this works. Okay. I'm going to start capturing. I'm going to go over here to the internet. I'm going to go to Google. I'm going to search for cars. Okay, I want to read the news. I'm going to go over here to Yahoo. So I should have some different traffic here, hopefully. Okay, I got some different traffic now. I'm just going to stop this. Alright, I'm going to save this. I'm going to save it on my desktop. Okay, on my desktop I'm going to call it test. Okay, easy enough. Alright, so it should be called test right there. Now I actually need to rename that. Come on, let me rename you test.pcap. There we go. Alright, now, inside here, if I go to run Snort, okay, oh, wrong one. Get out of that window. Okay, if I go to run Snort right here, this is what yours should do. Oh, I also made a rules file. You need to do this. On my desktop, I just made a text file. Okay, I just went over here and I said accessories, I said leaf pad, then I said to get a new file, and basically I created this file that might open. There it is. I just created a file. Okay, called it snort.rule. Okay, now, so here's my command. Sudo, remember we talked about sudo, you have to have that. Sudo snort. Now, this -c, that's something new. That basically says read the rules file. And that's what this file is right here. Okay. Now I'm running this, as you can tell, from my desktop. Since I'm running this from my desktop, I don't need to specify any paths. I can just point to them directly. So sudo snort -c, which is my rules file. Then I'm saying -r, which means read. Then I could read in the assignment file. But for this one, I'm going to change it to test.pcat, because that's one I just made. Okay, there we go. Now I'm going to put in my password. And it gives me an error. And if you read the error, you should be getting this error. So on you see it. What it's saying is, hey, we're initializing Snort, but we can't write to the output directory. Remember, I'm running this as can, but it's still trying to write to this Snort directory, which does not exist. Okay? So if you go over here, and actually let me show that again. It says var log snort. Okay, that does not exist. So I'm in the var log directory, right here. If I do ls, you'll see there's no directory called snort. So I'm going to do mkdir snort, and it shouldn't work. Basically, again, says, hey, you can't do this because I'm logged in as kin. Now, I could use super user mode to fix that, but I'm just going to do sudo instead. I'm just making directory for snort. Easy enough. Put in my password. Now, if I do ls, you'll see I actually have a directory for snort right there. Okay, that will solve this error you're going to get here. Now, if I go run this, what it's doing is it read my rules file and processed that file I read in. Okay, now the way you read this stuff is, okay, here's the breakdown by protocol. First of all, it looked at 2,252 packets. Okay, so many were from Ethernet, so many were IPv4, so many were UDP, some were TCP, so on and so forth. Some were IPv6. It goes on and on. Now the alerts is 1136. Now let's look at my rule. My rule says, okay, alert TCP any. The way you read this is alert protocol, that's either TCP or IP. This is the source IP source port going to destination IP destination port. Now you can actually turn this arrow around. It would work the exact opposite. So this says alert on any TCP packet from anywhere on any port going to anywhere on any port. This part is what gets logged. Okay, just the word test. Now you have to give it some ID. I just put that in there. It doesn't matter what number you put in there, but this is what's going to be logged in my log file. Okay, so what happened was, since I said log all TCP packets, it went in here and it logged them all. It gave me, where'd they go? Where'd TCP go? I miss it? Hold on, let's start at the top. Okay, there was a total of 2,252 packets. 2,054 were IP. Now I'm going to bring up handy calculator if I can find calculator. Where'd calculator go? Well, for some reason I can't start calculator. There's calculator. Alright. So if I have 2,252 total packets, if I subtract 2,054 packets, we got 198 phantom packets out there. Okay? And actually this one doesn't count right either. The reason is some of them broadcast, some of them are bad checksums. You actually notice 946 of these are bad checksums, which it doesn't, actually on the assignment they actually do match up perfectly. Just because I'm on a different network. There's this whole 16, this network has a lot of different stuff, like a lot of IPv6, stuff like that, that isn't on the assignment you're going to be using. But okay, let's change this rule. Okay, now here's that capture packet we made. Okay. Oh, you got to be kidding me. Okay, let me run this stupid thing again. Don't you love this? Okay, sudo wireshark. Get my password. Okay, whatever. Okay, whatever. Thank you. File open, and we're going to open up on my desktop. We're going to open up test. Okay, there we go. Now, you can notice there's a bunch of different packets in here, and some of these are TCP, some of these are DNS, so on and so forth. So I want to, let's change my rule to show packets that came from 10.10.40.31. So I'm going to say, I want to see any TCP, I'm trying to look for this packet right here. any packet that came from 10.10.40.31. Whoops, that's not 31, that's 31. Okay, now I'm going to save this. So again, it's going to load it on a TCP packet from this IP on any port going anywhere. So now if I run this, I get 0. And I actually had this issue for a long time. Let me explain what the issue is. Okay, if you open this up, well, let's see if I can get this a little bigger here. If you open this up, you're going to get an issue with the checksum. Oh, because it's turned off. Great, how handy is that? But the checksum is most likely invalid on some of these. So what I want to show you is how to ignore bad checksums. You notice on the assignments, a few of them said ignore checksums. To do that, actually, if you type snort with a -H, it'll show you how to use it. Okay, and up here under K, you'll notice this checksum mode. Okay, so I'm going to change the way I run this, and I'm going to go over here and I'm going to put in a -K none. Now I run this thing. Now all of a sudden I have 917. Let me show you the difference. If I run it without the -K, I get 0 alerts. If I run it with the -K, I get 917. What that means is we got checksum issues with some files. So on the ones where I specifically mention checksums, you need to add the -K none. Okay? Now, let's change this up. Let's bring up Wireshark again. Where did my Wireshark go? There it is. Let's just pick a different one. Let's go to this one. I want to get one that's not secure. Come on. There we go. Let's just pick a source of 98.138. Actually, let's pick a destination this time instead. We already did a source. Let's pick a destination of 10.10.40.31. 31, I can't type today. I'm going to save this. Okay. And I'm going to run it again. I'm going to run it without the -K. And I got 1136. I'm running with the -K. And I got 1137. So it means one of them's got a bad checksum. Again, only use the -K on the ones where I specifically specify that. Okay. So now I'm looking for a TCP packet from any IP on any port going to this specific IP on any port. And again, I got 1136. Okay. You can change this as well. Let me give you an example of changing that. Let me bring my packet up here again. Let's sort by protocol this time. And let's see, what do we got? We got any UDP packets in here? We got ST. Actually, let's just look for UDP. We don't need to look through there. I'm going to change this to say, did I already change it? Oh, I got the snort rule up twice. Great. Okay. Let's go UDP. So now we're looking for any UDP packet. File save. Okay. Now I'm going to run this again. Do I have any UDP packets? I have 127 of them. See how that worked? Pretty simple. I just changed this part right here. If I change it to TCP, you can see how many TCP packets I have. It's pretty simple to do. Okay. If you want to see what it's actually logging, now I can actually go into the snort directory now that we made it. And if you look in there, there's something called alert. So I can go cat, which stands for concatenate, alert, and it'll actually show you the results in the file. Let me stop. Okay. This is what it's actually putting in there. There's that whole test thing. There's that ID number. There's the string test. And it's telling you exactly what it found. Hey, it alerted on a packet here. And this is it. So it's pretty cool. It puts all that in there. I did not give you every possible example needed to solve the assignment, but I told you basically how it works. Again, protocol, source IP, source port, direction of traffic, destination IP, destination port, and you can always use the same on all these. It really doesn't matter. All I want from you is the number from the top of the assignment. Let me bring that back up. I want to know number 1, okay? And for number 1, I want to know this part right here, okay? Then I want to know how many alerts you got, and that's this number right here. Okay? So you're going to say, number 1, alert TCP any, arrow, any, and you're going to say 1136 for alerts. Just like I have down at the bottom there. Pretty simple. Okay? I know how many are supposed to come about on each one of these, so make sure you do it correctly. Now, I'm also going to show you this file. Okay? Just so you can see that the assignment does actually work. Well, there it is. I'm not going to run it. I'm just going to show you. The file does have a bunch of stuff in it. Okay? It's on a different network. It's actually my work computer. So this is your assignment. There's like 9,104 packets, but that should get you going. Okay? You all should have got Snort working for the last assignment. Remember, you must create the alert directory, but that's about it. All right. I'm going to send you the test review here shortly.